Could this be the single most important exercise ever? Today, we are all about the squat. I'm going to share with you 4 of my favorite squat variations on today's episode, coming right up. We are back at Focus HQ, and today we are all about the squat. Not to sound dramatic, but this could be the single most important exercise ever. What are the best 4 versions of squat that you can do right now with stuff that you already have at home? Find out on today's episode. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Burke. If you're new to the channel, each episode I try to bring you the best rehabilitation, training, and recovery tips so that you can get the most out of your movement and stay active and healthy for life. Almost more than any other movement, the squat is the foundation upon which most human activities come from. Almost without exception, the ability to squat to and from a low surface or the ground or floor is one of the fundamental movements for a human being. Squatting doesn't have to be all about heavy loads either. When you think of a squat in your mind, you might picture a barbell, lots of grunting, sweating. The reality is we're looking at an ability to move your body vertically, up and down, ideally from the ground to standing and back. And we can do that without adding a lot of extra weight. For folks that are experiencing problems of the spine, hips, knees, feet, ankles, the squat can be transformative. And for folks who are active and healthy, you may think that you're getting enough training in the activities that you're doing, but the reality is we still need to train that squat. Use it or lose it. So I've put together 4 really simple versions of the squat that anybody can do with the equipment that you have at home. And with these tools, I hope that you will begin to transform your body and become more capable, able, and comfortable. So without further ado, let's get to it. Our first squat is probably the most basic. We are going to use a chair. That's all you need. Here's how this works. Position yourself about half a foot in front of a chair. Feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Aim for the edge of the chair and just touch it with your hips and then come back to standing. It's as simple as that. With your feet this far in front of the chair, there's a tendency for you to become back balanced and possibly want to collapse or fall back onto the chair. In order to prevent that, hinge at the hips and bring your arms forward to counterbalance your body. Lower yourself slowly through the range until you touch and then come back. Sometimes I call these touch and goes because I don't want you to actually put all of your weight on the chair. I want you to just touch it and then come back up. Keep your eyes forward and keep your back straight when you're squatting. For this next exercise, we're going to use the suspension trainer. This particular one is the TRX, but there are many and it doesn't really matter which one you choose. What I like about the TRX trainer squat is that it's assisted and stabilized. My arms are providing a lot of stability and that allows me to bring my hips further behind myself. If you're new to this style of squatting with your hips really pushing backwards and counterbalancing with your upper body, this particular version is a great way to practice. If you don't have a suspension trainer, you can still do this at home, hooking your fingers around a door or the edge of a countertop. Anything secure that's not going to give under your body weight load. This next version is a wall squat. It is a classic pre-ski season exercise and a popular rehab exercise as well. All you need is a wall. Place your feet about a foot away from the wall. Hinge at the hips. Bring your hips back until you feel the wall behind you. And then you can come upright and drop. Because my hips are so far behind my feet, this concentrates the action around my quads and knees. I will choose this version if I need to rehab the quad and patellar tendons, and I will avoid it if there is too much pain underneath the kneecap or patella This is a nice exercise progression because it allows greater force development in the quad without adding extra weights. And that's because the center of mass is so far behind the feet and ankles. Another way to make this exercise progressively difficult are to add staged isometrics through different depths of the squat, starting with the shallow depth and hold, coming down a little bit further and hold, and a little further still, and hold, and a little further still, and hold, and then press back up. It's easy to add a ball behind my back to make this exercise move a little bit more smoothly against the wall. If I'm gonna use a ball, I'm gonna start with the ball below belt height and with my feet about 1 foot to 1.5 foot in front of the ball. As I come down, the ball's gonna roll up the small of my back. So I'm gonna keep my core engaged and then press. I like to incorporate arm motion, and there you have it, our basic wall or ball wall squat. The last version I have for you today is a decline squat using a wedge or a small block. This is 2 inches. Here's how this works. Standing with the high part of the wedge at your heel and your toes sloped down, perform a squat just like any of the 3 versions we've already done. If you don't have a wedge like this, just put your heels up on a block and you'll accomplish the same thing. What makes this work is it unloads any tightness that you might have at your ankle and calf that's forcing your knee into an incorrect alignment. By opening your ankle joints, you actually free your hips a bit, and the freedom and mobility between those 2 joints allows your knee to track in a more optimal configuration. This basically amounts to a more tolerable, more comfortable knee while you're working on your squat. So there you have it, folks. 4 really nice and easy versions of the squat you can be doing at home. They're all good. They're all gonna help you regain strength, motor control, and mobility. And if you're just starting out, I recommend that you do these every 3rd day initially, 3 sets of 10. And progress to every other day. You do not need to do these every single day. Thanks so much for joining me as always, and I hope to see you next time.